All right, example 2. We're dividing 8x cubed plus 27 by 2x plus 3. What is the divisor? 2x plus 3. So 2x plus 3 goes out here. And the dividend is the other one. And notice, I got 8x cubed, I've got plus 27. I don't have x squared, I don't have x, right? So I'm missing some powers of x. So this is what I'm talking about in zero terms. This is how we do this. So 8x cubed is my first power. Whatever the highest power is, that has to go in there. Every power less than that has to be accounted for. And if you're missing any powers of x, you're going to put zero terms in. So I'm going to put plus 0x squared. I'm going to put plus 0x. Then I'm going to put plus 27. Even though they're not there, they're going to show up. Those powers of x will show up in the process. They just will. So we account for, and all I'm really doing there is I'm creating space. 0x squared equals 0, adding it or subtracting it doesn't change anything. 0x equals 0, adding or subtracting it doesn't change anything. I'm just creating space for when x squared shows up, I got a place to put it. When x shows up, I have a place to put it. The process is what it was. 8x cubed is my first object inside. I'm dividing it by my 2x first object outside. Now I've got numbers and letters happening in this division. So number divided by number, what's 8 divided by 2? 4. And x cubed divided by x is x squared. So number divided by number divides, letter divided by letter, we subtract the powers. So again, there's different types of things happening there, so we have different things happening with the different types of things. Number affects number by division, power affects power by subtraction of powers. Okay? And again, all this stuff going on in the problem, all I cared about was what's highlighted, nothing else matters to me. This divided by this, simple division, nothing terribly difficult about that. Next step is I take my answer, 4x squared, which is positive, because both these were positive, that's why it's positive. Positive 4x squared times both 2x plus 3. So, 4x squared times 2x makes positive 8x cubed. 4 times 2 is 8, x squared times x makes x cubed, 2 positives make a positive. 4x squared times 3 makes positive 12x squared. 4 times 3 is 12, x squared times no x's does not change. 2 positives make a positive. Take the answer times the divisor to get a product, lining up like terms in the process. Again, here's x squared showing up just like I said it would. Again, that's why the 0x squared is there, just to have space to put it. We're supposed to change all signs in the product. This is the product. This becomes negative, this becomes negative. Then we combine like terms. 8x cubed minus 8x cubed makes 0. By the way, that should happen every time if you didn't notice. Back on this one, first one's canceled, first one's canceled. The second one's canceled sometimes, they don't have to. The first ones do have to. Okay, and if you do everything the way I'm telling you how to do it, they will. All right, these should always be opposite in the process. Here, 0 minus 12 makes negative 12x squared. 0 minus 12, different signs subtract, you get 12, 12 is bigger than negative, x squared, x squared, x squared. We're adding like terms, powers don't change. Okay. Squared is bigger than 1, right? If this is bigger, we're done. If this is bigger, we got to keep going, so I'm going to bring everything else down. Plus 0x plus 27, and I repeat the process. This is my first object here. This is my first object here. What is negative 12x squared divided by positive 2x?
Negative 6x.
Negative 6x, right? Negative 12 divided by 2 makes the negative 6. X squared divided by x makes x to the first. Again, I don't care about anything else in the process, just taking this one thing divided by that one thing to get that one answer. I take that one answer, which is negative 6x, times both of these things. I'm multiplying a negative times a positive. Negative 6 times 2 makes negative 12. X times x makes x squared. Negative 6 times positive 2 makes negative 12. Scratch that. Negative 6 times positive 3 is negative 18. X times nothing makes x. So, negative 6x times 2x and negative 6x times 3. This answer times both pieces to make two things down here. I got an x squared piece lining up with x squared. I got an x piece lining up with x. Next step says change all signs in that product. Signs currently are negative, negative. I'm going to change to positive, positive. Again, subtraction is changing signs in algebra. Once you've changed the signs, you've accounted for the subtraction idea. Now you have to add, either add or subtract based on like term ideals. So these signs are different, so they are opposite even, so they cancel. Again, that should happen every single time you do this. If that doesn't happen, you did something wrong. Negative and negative, negative and positive, the same thing. Here, 0 plus 18 makes 18. X is not less than x, right? First power's got to be less than. As long as I still have a power the same as or bigger than, I got to keep dividing. So I'm going to bring down my plus 27 and go through the process again. This is now my first dividend object. This is my first divisor object. 18x divided by 2x. Positive divided by positive makes a positive. 18 divided by 2 is 9. X divided by x cancels the x's. I multiply my answer 9 times both pieces. That's 18x plus 27. This is my product step. Next step says change all signs in that product. This becomes negative, this becomes negative. 18x minus 18x, opposites, which they should be. They always are. They cancel. These happen to be opposite also. 27 minus 27 leaves a remainder of 0. Okay. 0 is a smaller power than x to the first, right? Constant x. This is a bigger power. So we're done dividing. My remainder this time is 0. When I have no remainder, that means I have no remainder. This is the quotient. One side note on this particular problem. That's the sum of cubes. That's 2 times 2 times 2. That's x times x times x. That's 3 times 3 times 3. They're being added together. If you have a sum of cubes, the factored form, cube root plus cube root. The second parentheses, we're going to square this. That's 4x squared. We're going to change the sign and multiply those together. That's minus 6x. And we're going to square that plus 9. Notice that we're simply dividing this, which is the same as that, by 2x plus 3, which is our answer. All right. Factoring changes sums and differences into products. If you change things into products, if you happen to have an equal match, those can cancel like that. Okay, that would be an advanced version of this problem. Just a recognition, hey look, that's the sum of cubes. Let me try factoring it. Hey look, they cancel. Okay. At this point in time, you just recently learned this whole sum and difference of cubes things. Chances are you're not going to be recognizing that stuff, but just know that's a possibility in this section. Sometimes things factor, and sometimes a factored form can reduce things out, leaving you with an answer. So that technique will work sometimes. I'd say maybe if you have 50 problems, it might happen 2 or 3 times. I wouldn't expect it to happen often, but again, it could. So when you're looking at your dividend, see if it's got some special structure, some easily factored technique, and see if that might lead you to some easy way to do it. It's worth just a quick glance. If you recognize it, great. If not, this technique works 100% of the time. Even when it doesn't divide evenly, when you get a remainder. If you get a remainder, this won't work over here.